If I've created one if function, I've created 1,000 in my career. Being able to add variables to our data based on conditions is a must-have skill for a data analyst. Trust me, you will need it. In Excel, we call these if functions or logical functions. In Power Query, they're called conditional columns. The organization decided they want to send a thank you note to anyone who made a sales order over 3,000. We need to send this list to our marketing group so they know who to notify. So let's go look at how to create a conditional column. I'll right-click my sales order header and go to Edit. I'll go ahead and expand my queries. And for now, I want to actually make a copy of my sales order header. I'll right-click it. I want to use reference on this duplicate. That way, if I make changes to the main sales order header in the data, it will carry over to my marketing data. So I'll choose reference. I'll go ahead and name this one marketing. Let me show you how the reference works. If I go to sales order header and I go ahead and make my display name proper case or capitalize each word, then I'll immediately see that change. In my marketing, that's one of the benefits of the reference. I don't have to duplicate those cleaning steps. Okay, now for the conditional column, I'll go to Add Column. I'll choose Conditional Column. This will be called Thank You Note. If the total order is greater than or equal to 3,000, then I want it to mark it with Thank You Note. Otherwise, I want it to just say No Note. I'll go ahead and click OK. And if I go to the end of my data, I can see I have Thank You Notes and No Notes. Okay, I'll go ahead and choose Close and Load. Just scroll over here and make sure. Perfect, working fine. No Note and Thank You Note. I'll go ahead and name this sheet tab Thank You Notes. If you've ever built an if function, you can see how this is a simple way to create conditional variables in your data. We clean and transform a lot of data so that we can total, count it, and average it, and then we send that aggregated data to other people. This type of aggregation can be frustrating when you're dealing with large data ranges in Excel, and you're limited to doing some average and count functions. Let's quickly look at how we can produce these aggregate datasets in Power Query. Okay, so I'll start with our marketing list. I'll right-click and go to Edit. Let me expand my list of queries. Okay, so for the marketing list, I'm going to go ahead and right-click it and I'll reference it because if I make changes to my marketing information, I want it to carry over. And I'll rename this Thank You Counts. Okay, great. So now that I have my thank you counts, I'll go ahead and create the count. If you'll go to the Transform tab, you'll see a valuable function called Group By. Okay, I want to actually work with the thank you notes. So I want to group by thank you note and I want to count the rows. Now what this will do is tell me how many records get thank you notes and how many do not. I'll go ahead and click OK. Perfect. Now I get a count of how many records have no note versus thank you note. Okay, let's go up to our sales order header. Again, we want to do some counts of our sales orders. We may also want to see what the average sales order is, as well as what's the total orders. So I'll go ahead and right-click and I'll reference this data set. And I'll go ahead and call this one order totals. Okay, I'll go to my group by. I want to get a count and I want to count the rows, but I also want to get a total of the order and the average order. So I'll go to Advanced and I'll add an aggregation. What I want to do is I want to actually create a total order amount. And I want to sum. And I want to sum the total order. I want to add another aggregation so I can do the average order amount. And I'll change my operation to average. I want to do that by the total order. Right now I have a grouping by customer key, but I can choose any of these fields. So if I wanted to do more meaningful like display name, then what it would give me is a display name as a grouping level, and then I would get a count, the total order, and the average order amount. I can also choose options like date ordered or date shipped. Okay, let's leave it at customer key and then I'll click OK. So now I get a count by each customer. I get a total order amount and an average order amount. Let's go ahead and convert these to currency. I think I actually want my average to be before my total order amount. Now I could swap them here or I could go to my grouped rows. Choose my gear shape and move them. So I'll hit my 3 little dots and I'll move that up. If I decide that I don't need the count, I can just click those 3 little dots and delete it. And then I'll click OK. And now I have a subtotal for every customer, their average order, and their total order amount. Let's go ahead and do close and load. Okay, we'll name this aggregate by customer. And we'll name this another sheet with thank you counts. There are a number of reasons why you might aggregate data. In some cases, you might be the only person who has access to the raw data. You may only provide the high-level aggregated data. Anything we can do to simplify that process will ensure that we've removed any human error. Also, we can have a higher level of confidence, and with Power Query, it's a lot less rinse and repeat than dealing with building functions.